Soft orchestral bells, warm winter light, slow pans of glowing streets. Christmas, a season of light, joy, and togetherness, a moment when the world seems to pause, breathe, and wrap itself in a blanket of hope. From snowy towns in Europe to midnight prayers in the Philippines, to warm family dinners in Latin America, to dazzling city streets in Asia. Every December, billions of people celebrate in their own way, hanging ornaments, sharing gifts, singing old songs passed down through generations. It's a global festival made of memories, stories, and human connection. Christmas is more than a holiday. It's a feeling, a reminder of kindness, family, nostalgia, and the simple wish for peace. But there's something about this beautiful celebration that almost no one realizes. A twist in history that feels impossible today. Because there was a time, not so long ago, when Christmas wasn't filled with joy, lights, and music. Instead, it was feared, rejected, even illegal. Yes, there was a chapter in American history when celebrating Christmas could get you fined, punished, and treated as a troublemaker. Part 1. The Strange, Forgotten America of the 1600s. Cut to snowy forests, wooden houses, quiet Puritan villages. To understand why Christmas was banned, we have to travel back almost 400 years to the early American colonies, long before the United States even existed. This was the world of the Puritans, strict English Protestants who had crossed the ocean to build a society based on discipline, hard work, and religious purity. To them, life was serious, faith was serious, and anything that looked like celebration was suspicious. The Puritans believed that joy could distract people from God. They banned music, dancing, and bright decorations. Even laughter in the wrong moment was considered sinful. So imagine how they felt about Christmas, a day that in Europe had become loud, messy, and full of drinking and wild parties. To the Puritans, Christmas wasn't holy, it was dangerous. Part 2. The Christmas they wanted to erase. Snow falling over 1600s England, lanterns, muddy streets, crowded taverns, drums echo in the distance. Today, we picture Christmas as a peaceful, cozy holiday. But in the 1600s, it was something completely different. Back then, Christmas was loud, chaotic, and sometimes even dangerous. It looked more like a giant street carnival than a holy day. Imagine walking through a London street on December 25th, torches burning, strangers wearing masks, drunk crowds chanting, people pounding on doors demanding food and ale, men dressed in wild costumes, groups of young men, wassailers wandering house to house shouting for treats and getting angry if they didn't receive any, shops forced to close, fights breaking out in the snow, excessive drinking lasting for days, people choosing a lord of misrule, a mischief leader who encouraged chaos. To many Christians of the time, Christmas was sacred. To the Puritans, it was everything they feared: disorder, alcohol, wasted time, mockery of religion, dangerous crowds. In their eyes, it was a holiday that corrupted people, not uplifted them. So when they left England and sailed across the Atlantic, they carried one bold mission: to wipe out Christmas completely. Part 3. The world where Christmas became a crime. Cold, gray winter. Wooden houses. Snow piling on rooftops in Massachusetts Bay Colony. Here, in the New World, the Puritans built towns unlike anything in Europe. Their lives were ruled by strict discipline, no colorful clothing, no unnecessary music, no dancing, no playing games, no celebrations unless directly approved by the church. And Christmas? They believed celebrating it was an insult to God. In their sermons, Puritan ministers thundered against Christmas, calling it a wasteful festival, a dangerous excuse for sin, a human invention, not a divine command. They studied the Bible carefully, and because the scripture never mentioned the exact date of Jesus' birth, they argued that celebrating Christmas had no holy foundation. To them, it wasn't just unnecessary, it was morally corrupt. So, in 1659, the Massachusetts General Court passed a shocking law. Whosoever shall be found observing any such day as Christmas shall pay 5 shillings as a fine. For 22 years, Christmas became something unthinkable, a punishable offense. Imagine the scene, a family quietly humming a hymn behind closed doors, a neighbor hearing them, a knock on the door at night, and the next morning, that family being fined. Schools stayed open on December 25th. Children were expected to attend class. Shopkeepers were required to open as usual. If you didn't work on Christmas Day, the authorities assumed you were celebrating and punished you. Patrolmen walked through villages watching for suspicious behavior. A candle lit at the wrong hour, a family gathering food, a group singing softly. Anything festive could be considered a violation. Christmas had vanished from public life by law. Part 4. The people who secretly celebrated anyway. Night falls. The snow glows blue. A single candle flickers in a shuttered home. But even in the strictest societies, the human heart remembers joy. Not everyone in the colonies was Puritan. There were fishermen, merchants, travelers, and immigrants from other parts of Europe, people who had grown up celebrating Christmas with warmth, food, and family. For them, living in a world where Christmas was illegal felt like a piece of their identity had been stolen. So they resisted, quietly, carefully. Historians describe hidden celebrations, families whispering Christmas hymns instead of singing them, small gatherings late at night behind covered windows, a single loaf of sweetbread shared in secret, children receiving tiny gifts carved from wood, candles hidden behind furniture to avoid being seen from outside. Imagine the tension, the warmth of a small secret Christmas, mixed with the fear that at any moment someone might knock on the door. These were not big celebrations. They were moments of resistance, gentle, human acts of remembering who they were. Even when the law tried to erase Christmas, people held onto it in the quietest ways possible. Part 5. The Fall of the Ban. By the late 1670s, the world around the Puritan colonies began to change. England, across the ocean, grew tired of the extreme Puritan laws in Massachusetts. The English monarchy believed the colonies had become too strict, too rebellious, and too independent, and so political pressure began to build. In 1681, royal authorities ordered the Puritan government to relax its harsh rules. Changes swept through the colony: more religious tolerance, more cultural freedoms, a reduction in strict punishments. And slowly, quietly, the Christmas ban came to an end. But that didn't mean the Puritans accepted Christmas right away. Even after the law was removed, Puritan ministers still preached against Christmas. Many churches refused to recognize it. Towns avoided public celebrations. Schools and shops continued operating normally. It would take decades, even centuries, before Christmas became widely embraced. But the door had been opened. Christmas was no longer a crime, and little by little, the old warmth began to return. Part 6. The birth of the modern Christmas. The screen brightens, snow sparkles, bells ring softly. The Christmas you know today, the lights, the tree, the gifts, the songs, the cozy warmth, didn't fully exist until the 1800s. It took nearly 200 years for Christmas in America to transform into the beautiful celebration we recognize. Here's how it happened. 1. Immigrants brought their traditions. German families brought Christmas trees. Dutch families brought Sinterklaas, the early Santa Claus. Irish immigrants brought joyous Christmas music. Slowly, the holiday became multicultural, a tapestry of traditions. 2. Charles Dickens changed the world. In 1843, Dickens published A Christmas Carol. It wasn't just a story, it redefined Christmas into a holiday of generosity, kindness, family, and compassion. People began to see Christmas not as chaos, but as love. 3. Writers reinvented Santa. In 1823, the poem "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" painted Santa as jolly, magical, warm, and family-friendly. Not a strict saint, not a symbol of misrule, but a joyful giver of gifts. 4. The Industrial Age. Toy shops boomed, cities lit up with electric lights. Christmas cards spread messages across great distances. Christmas became modern, colorful, and global. The Puritan world faded, and new Christmas, softer, kinder, magical, emerged. Part 7. Final Reflection. Return to warm, glowing lights, families gathering, soft snowfall outside. It's incredible to think about. A holiday that billions of people cherish today, a season of light, music, and connection, was once considered a dangerous idea, a crime. But perhaps that's what makes Christmas so special. No matter the time, no matter the rules, the human heart always finds a way to protect joy. Christmas survived. Christmas returned. And today, it shines brighter than ever. Because light, especially in the darkest season, has a way of always coming back.